Hello, HerStoryTV, and to the Her Story podcast. This is Gertrude Macha here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. And this is really a welcome back because we have heard from you before. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hi, good afternoon, Gertrude. It's so great to see you. Thank you so much. My name is Kimberly Schafer. I'm 62 years old and I'm based in San Diego, California. I'm delighted to be a new entrepreneur. I spent my career as a research administrator at a university. For 33 years, I worked at the University of California at San Diego. For 15 of those years, I was the administrative director of the Center for AIDS Research. For 14 years, I was the director of clinical operations with the Alzheimer's Disease Cooperative Study. And early on in my career, I also worked for a neuropsychologist who literally wrote the book on neuropsychology. So during that time, I had the privilege and the honor of working with some of the world's best researchers in neuropsychology, HIV, and Alzheimer's disease. One of the things I really appreciated about that work was that every room I was in, there were many people smarter than me. And so I learned every single day. And it was very stimulating. I was given a lot of opportunity and a lot of room to grow and to thrive. So I valued every moment of that. And then while I was working there in 2013, I had this idea. I would go to the nail salon and take my rings off to get a manicure, and I had nowhere to put my rings. There was no bowl, there was no holder, and no container. And I just kept thinking, there has to be a way, there has to be something that can hold my rings safely. And so I just started to think about what would I like. And as I thought about it, I came up with a design. I made my first model out of a paper towel, with a little origami, a paper towel version. And it grew from there. And now I have a product called the Ring Thing. And it was based on that initial design. It took me a long time to get it to market because I was working full time in a very high pressure job. We would have huge grants that were due, a lot of deadlines. So sometimes I couldn't work on it at all. And sometimes I could just work on it bit by bit along the way. But I just kept trying. And along the way, I got 3 patents and a trademark. I set up my company. And in February of 2021, I retired from the university. And now I'm launching my business and bringing the Ring Thing to market. So it's so exciting and satisfying to actually hold it in my hand and be able to make it available to other people. I designed it out of my love for rings. And so it has a lot of features that are really to take care of your rings. There's a padded base so your rings don't bang against the bottom, and features like that. And it turns out it's waterproof and it floats, which I didn't expect. So that was a really nice outcome of it. And I had to learn a lot. I didn't know anything about manufacturing. I found an injection molding company. I learned about how to get a mold made and how to do the manufacturing and work with the team on that. And it's actually manufactured here in San Diego County, about 14 minutes from my house. And so if I need to get there and look at anything, I can easily get there. And that makes it really great to collaborate with the production team. One thing I've really learned is the difference between research and business. So working with scientists my whole career, everything was based on facts. And I would think about, you would just say, here it is, and here's what it does. And so that's my inclination, is to say, here's the Ring Thing, here's what it does. It works really well. And I'm learning that that doesn't work to make it appealing to people and to market it. So I'm learning about marketing. I'm learning how to still tell the truth about it, but make it fun and appealing. And that has really been a great learning experience for me. And I've also learned to get out from behind the scenes, because my career was spent helping facilitate life for the researchers. So if I could help them administer their grants and their research centers so they could focus on their work, that was great. And so I was very much in the background as far as having a public face. And now I am the public face of the ring thing. So I'm the one who walks into stores. I'm the one who goes to, to present, through Zoom or online to potential customers. And it's really gotten me out of my comfort zone. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's always been a really good process. And I've also learned how life comes together. I feel like everything that I've learned in my life has led to me being able to bring the ring thing to market and have it thrive. My work running projects and supervising teams helps me organize the business and to work with my partners and my vendors. My work in the Rotary Club, which I'm very active in, has introduced me to incredible people who have so much knowledge about business and succeeding in community service. And my girlfriends who have been with me every step of the way. My jewelry friends, the people who I buy jewelry from, who I talk to about jewelry, have inspired me and been so supportive. And then also I'm learning, like, you just never know what connection will lead to the next step. So, for example, a friend of mine had a party and I went to her party, and one of the other guests was an attorney. So we spent some time talking, and he told me about a patent attorney in his office. I contacted that patent attorney. That attorney worked with me on my patents and turned my one application into 3 patents. I never knew when I was having that conversation at a party that all of that would happen as a result. So I'm really learning that it's so important to just be open to every thread and every conversation and every connection. You never know where that's going to lead. It's been an interesting process to run my own business and really be responsible to myself. So for decades, I was used to having my life dictated by grant deadlines, by publication deadlines, by meetings. And all of a sudden, I'm the one who needs to set those parameters and make those things happen. And it's been challenging and to learn that, but it's been really exhilarating. I really am able to guide things the way that I want to and to find that balance. I've also gotten involved in social projects. So I'm very involved in anti-human trafficking work, mostly through the Rotary Club, but I do donate a portion of the sale of each ring thing to anti-human trafficking nonprofits. And that's something I hope to be able to grow. I would like to be able to give a larger donation. And I've learned that you have to really be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and outside of what you think people expect. I'm 62, and I certainly ask myself, am I too old to be doing this? I'm starting a whole new career, a whole new chapter, something I've never done before. And am I too old for that? And I always come back to, no, you can do anything at any age, and I can do this. So it's been very empowering to me to learn to have faith in myself and faith in my own vision and just go for it. I don't need to be constrained by anybody else's idea of what I should be doing or what I could be doing. I'm the one who's in charge of that. And so now where I am with the ring thing is I'm selling it through my website, Amazon, Etsy, through other channels. I have it in stores in California, Minnesota, Florida, and expanding into other states. So it's growing, and it's just incredible to see something go from being inside my head, to being out there in the world, and have people appreciate it and enjoying it. So I feel like it's really taking off. I think 2023 is going to be the year. I still have more to learn about the business world and bringing things to market. And, I also am loving connecting with other women. Connecting with Gertrude and Her Story Circle has been a really positive experience. And just seeing what people can do. Like, I'm finding that once you really are authentically yourself and share your story, other people open up and share their stories. So I've met all kinds of women who open up and talk about their dreams and what they're working on, and maybe what they're working on a little bit, not in secret, but they're working on it very quietly because they're not sure that it's going to go. And as we talk, we hopefully inspire each other. And I've learned as well that it's really important to have mentors. I have a wonderful mentor through the SCORE program who has been my mentor for 2 years. So since before I even had the ring thing produced until now through marketing, we talk every week. He's a very experienced businessman, and it has been invaluable to me. And it also shows me that I need to be open to that. You can kind of think, well, I know what I'm doing. I don't really need that. I have a clear vision. And I would say to anybody, don't have that view. You need to find that balance of having faith in yourself, faith in your vision and what you can do, but also be really open to input from people, because that input can guide you in ways that you never even imagined. And you don't have to listen to all of the input, but you need to evaluate all of it and see if it fits and see if it's something that you can learn from. And also just to be open to all of those connections. Like sometimes I go to local street fairs and festivals to sell the ring thing at a stand. And, one person can take a card, and that person can turn out to be somebody who runs a store that would really like to show and sell the ring thing. And you wouldn't know if they just walked up to your stand, but it's important to be open to all of that. And to hear people from different walks of life who maybe come from a different viewpoint than you do. All of these things can teach us. So for me, I feel like even though I'm in my second chapter, I've had a very full career in an academic setting, my learning is really just beginning. I feel like I still have so much to learn, and I'm loving every single minute of it. And it's important to always be kind. I think be kind to yourself. I've learned to be kind to myself and to be kind to others. So that's one of the other things that I've really learned.
Wow, Kimberly, your story is just so inspiring. A lot of women hold off on their dreams. We have ideas that we think we could bring to market. We don't trust ourselves. We second guess ourselves. Especially the older we get, we tend to lose self-confidence.
Yes.
Where would you say your self-confidence came from to step into the space? How have you navigated going into business at the age of over 60?
Yeah. Well, I think it came from a few places. One was when I grew up in a alternative setting. My parents had an alternative boarding school on a ranch in Northern California. And I grew up very differently than most people in the US. So we lived on a ranch and, rode horses, and I wore overalls every day and went barefoot most of the time. And I didn't go back into public school until 10th grade. And I had to learn to be really self-confident, just feeling like, okay, I'm coming from a different background. I'm looking at things a little differently, but I'm still here and I'm still okay. I also had a serious illness in my 20s. I was in the hospital for about 6 months with Crohn's disease. I had a very severe case of it. I was actually fed through a tube in my chest for most of that time. But I had surgery and had my large intestine removed. And since then, I have not had any recurrence, but I had to go back out in the world really regain my strength and learn to be okay. Because one of the outcomes of that surgery is that I do have an ileostomy, which is like a colostomy. So it's a bag on my side that has been there for 30 years and it's not going away. But I had to learn to navigate being healthy and being scared to tell people about it. How do you date? How do you do any of those things? And I really had to learn, and I did learn. And, I've had the great fortune to travel all over the world. I've been to Nepal 10 times. I've traveled in Tanzania, Egypt, all over. And I've rafted through the Grand Canyon. I've run 2 marathons. And it's just kind of each step of the way, I had to just decide I'm going to go forward and I'm going to be okay. And I think that accumulation of just little steps has really helped me.
Absolutely fascinating story. Now, let's have a look at the ring thing so people get an idea. A lot of times inventions come out of need. You saw a need for yourself, somewhere to put your rings and feel that they were safe, and invented the solution, which is really, really quite fascinating for me. So for everybody at home, this is the ring thing. You can find it on Kimberly's website. I've got the website address scrolling at the bottom of the screen, ringthing.co. And tell us a little bit about the design, Kimberly. It comes in multiple colors. Am I correct?
Yes, correct. I have it currently in 6 colors, and I'm hoping to add a couple of other colors this spring. So it was really important to me that it feel good in your hand. So I designed the top so that it feels good when you're touching it and when you're turning it to open it. It also has a flat bottom so that you can rest it on a countertop if you want to, or you can use the clasp and clip it inside your bag or onto your water bottle. One of my friend's mothers has a nail by her kitchen sink, and she puts it up. She puts a ring and a ring thing on that nail when she's washing dishes so she doesn't wash her rings down the sink. So I just tried to make it so it can be useful in any setting.
This is fascinating. And it's on special for Christmas right now. Am I correct?
Yes,
That's the
correct.
normal price. And what is the discounted price?
Yes, so the usual price is $24.95, and it's on sale now for $19.95.
Fantastic. So there's an excellent Christmas gift, everybody, for your Christmas stockings. We all know a woman who has one or multiple rings. Go on to Kimberly's website, theringthing.co, and let's help boost her sales for Christmas. Absolutely wonderful. Now, throughout your travels, I know that traveling changes people. You're never the same person that you were before you left home.
No.
What has been the biggest impact for you travel wise? Why would you advise other people to go into the world and see the world?
I think there's a couple of things. One is, first of all, you learn, speaking of self-confidence, you learn to be confident. You need to find your way around. You need to figure out how to get to your hotel and what do you want to see. So that's one aspect of it. I think perhaps more importantly is I learned how similar we all are. So, people might speak very different languages. They might have different traditions. They may dress differently. But really, when you are traveling and you meet people from other countries, you really see we're all so similar. And I also learned that people respond to genuineness. Like I am lucky to speak English. I'm not facile with any other language. And so I can try when I get to another country to do my best in the local language. But I've learned that if people see that you're really genuinely trying to communicate, you're trying your best and you're not being patronizing, their humanity comes through. And you see that genuineness. If they see your genuineness, that's what you get back from them. And so I think just being open to other people and also lifting expectations. Like one time I went to Nepal and I had braces in 2008, the full silver braces on. And I was going around a pilgrimage spot, and there were some young girls who had just come over from Tibet. And they were in their very traditional outfits, and they were walking next to me as we were all saying our prayers, and they were looking at me and pointing at my braces and laughing. And so I thought they were making fun of me. So I smiled and, was trying to be nice. And I went back to where I was staying, and I talked to my Tibetan friend. And I said, "Oh, these girls were making fun of me." And she said, "No." She said, in our culture, people wear their wealth in their mouth, gold or silver in their mouth. So they think you're really rich because you have all of that silver in your mouth. And I thought, I never expected that. That wasn't my filter that I read that through, but it made perfect sense. And it really taught me, like, don't make assumptions about how people are responding to you, because it might be very different than you think.
I love that. Yeah, we do view the world through our own lens. We don't realize that other people view the world completely differently. That's
Yes.
a beautiful story. Very, very good illustration of that.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I love it. Now, one of the other things that kind of fascinates me about you is throughout your journey, how much support have you had from family, from friends, from community? How has that experience been in terms of the people around you?
Yes, I've had great support. I would say, both from my family, from my friends, from my Rotary Club. Not so much financial support. I don't have any investors with the ring thing. Certainly, my father was very kind early on to loan me some money and to gift me some money. But other than that, I don't have any investors. So the support isn't financial, but it's emotional. And that to me is more important, that they have listened to me and they've never said, what the heck are you doing? They've been really been willing to be my sounding board, and they've been honest. If there was a aspect of the design that they didn't like, or I've gone to them for color choices to try to get their input. And also just having them remind me to take care of myself as I'm doing this, like, remember, you got to go work out. Remember, let's go on this trip that we need to go and relax a little bit. And, I think that emotional support has meant the world to me. I am delighted to share the ring thing. This is my invention to keep your rings safe whenever you need to take them off. If it's at the gym, at the golf course, at the beach, at the boxing club, massage parlor, nail salon. And it's also great to use while you're traveling. It's small, it fits in your hand, and you can stack rings inside of it and keep them safe. It has a padded bottom so that rings don't bang against the bottom. And each one also comes with 3 separator discs so that you can safely stack rings inside. The top has a precision closure where it twists shut. And it's so airtight, it's waterproof, and it floats. So in case you drop it into the pool or in the ocean, it will bob right up. And then the bottom is flat, so you can rest it on a countertop, or you can use a clip to clip it into inside your bag, on your water bottle, onto your keys, your belt loop. I used it on my backpack when I was walking on the Camino de Santiago in France. It was designed to feel really good in your hand, and it is available right now in 6 colors, and there will be more colors added soon.
Kimberly, I can't wait to finally meet you in person. I know you're going to be one of our speakers for the Her Story Summit in Washington, D.C. in March next year. What can people expect from the workshop that you will be running? Tell us the title of the masterclass and
Mm.
what can we expect?
Sure. The title of the masterclass will be Stepping Outside the Box and Into Your Own Light. And it's what I would like to talk with people about is how to step outside of people's expectations and perceptions of us, whether it's individual people or societal or cultural expectations, and just go outside of the box and step into your own light, whatever that is, and how to live your fullest life and be the most full version of yourself that you can be. And we'll talk about how to have faith in yourself and in your visions, and to believe that you and your thriving and your light and your experience is much more powerful than anybody else's expectations or perceptions of you. We'll also talk about how to listen to the universe, and listen to those signs that come to us, whether it's through an unexpected connection or just those inner feelings that we get about things. Also, the importance of setting up a structure, whether it's in life or business or both. Even if things are really simple, it's really important to have a structure and to follow that. And to be clear, clarity is so important, both within yourself and with other people. Having the clarity in communication, in thought, and in your own vision. And yet also being open to new input. So we can have a clear vision, but we also don't want to be stuck in a rut. And I'd love to discuss how to have that clarity, but also be open as new information comes, to be open to adjusting whatever our vision is and whatever our plan is, and take in new input. To understand that things will often take longer than we expect, and that's okay. Sometimes things will happen really fast, and other times it will take a lot longer than we expected, and that's really okay. And lastly, just knowing that being ourselves and living our own lives authentically, how that empowers other people and gives them the inspiration and the courage to do the same themselves.
Fantastic. Really looking forward to sharing you with our community, Kimberly. Your story is just so inspiring and uplifting.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming online and being with us. What is your social impact project?
So my social impact project is Anti-Human Trafficking. I'm very involved locally in San Diego, and also with some national organizations to fight human trafficking. So I would love to contribute and be part of the solution to stop human trafficking in all of its forms and in all countries.
I love that. And I love the fact that you say you want to be part of the solution. I think this is something that a lot of people miss, that when we step up and do a little something in whatever small way we can, we are part of the solution. And that's what social impact is about. Thank you so much for reminding me of that today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited.
Wow. So this comes to the end of our interview today. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in from around the world. The Her Story Circle is attracting some phenomenal women who are in business and entrepreneurship, health and wellness, family and relationships, creativity, social justice, and spirituality. Tune in again tomorrow when I interview yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And Kimberly, thanks again for this amazing interview.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Gertrude.
Bye for now, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Bye.